Stone Shamaness, and today's theme is past life, and past power is going to be the meditation that I do. It's only a short meditation. I've taken it from this book, and it's from the Isis Oracle, and it's absolutely perfect because I have done a past life regression this weekend, so I thought it'd be appropriate to do meditation to go with that. And it's called Past Life and Present Power, and I've also made a grid to go with this past life, and I've made another grid that was outside, and that's to help us address things in our psyche that need to be addressed. And in my case it was past life, but it could be something else, could be in this life, so that will help with that. And this grid is a very healing grid. It's an emotional healing grid to help us recover from stressful times. And it could have been for a lot of people this weekend because it was a full moon and it was in Scorpio, and Scorpio is usually a moon that helps us to go into the dark parts of our mind and address these things. They come to the surface for us to address. So I won't ramble on too much. I'd like to thank all my subscribers and my new subscribers. Welcome to you all. Today's light language, that will be to support this emotional healing, and the one outside is for the heart chakra again, and the other one will be for emotional healing to support us after this weekend or whatever you could be going through. So it's a supportive light language. So anyway, I'm going to make a grid as well from scratch, so that would be nice for you to see. It's this grid behind me. I did have a subscriber, a good friend of mine, that suggested it, because when I did start the channel, I did originally just make the grids from scratch, but as time goes on, there's so much things that I need to put in the video, it is time consuming, but I thought I'd just do a small grid anyway for that, so that'll be interesting. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you all soon. Okay, I hope it's not too dark, because the cloth is black, so it might be a bit dark, but anyway, I'm going to do a quick grid to go along with today's video. It's a healing grid, emotional healing grid, and so I'm just going to make it from scratch. One of my subscribers asked me to, so I thought it'd be a good idea to just do a small one. I'm going to use for the centerpiece an alabaster angel or cherub, because that goes quite nicely with the light language drawing that I did of Cupid. So I'm going to place this one in the centre. Alabaster's really good for emotional healing. I did actually do a past life regression on the weekend. Well, I didn't intend it, but kind of happened. So it did make me a bit fragile, so I thought it'd be a good idea on the video to address this on the video, so that anyone else that is going through a similar sort of thing, because as time goes on, we will remember some of our past lives, and some of them are a bit traumatic. I'm not going to go into detail what happened, but alabaster's really good for emotional healing. So I thought I'd make a grid that's with crystals that are kind of like got the sun in them, happy crystals, working on the solar plexus as well, because that's where the emotions are. I've got another alabaster piece. It's a yellow alabaster, and it's a ball. It is quite a soft crystal. You can actually use it as chalk as well. And I think it's number 2 on the scale of hardness. And I've also got an egg. That one's yellow jasper. That's quite a happy, joyful crystal. It's good for absorbing negativity as well, so I'll have that one on there. I have got another egg as well. Crystals in the shape of eggs are really good for calming the nerves. And I don't actually know what crystal this is. I've had this quite a few years, but it's the right colour, so we'll use it today. And I've got some lovely rainbow fluorite blocks here. That's another one that's good for absorbing negativity. So I'll put those on. Do a bit of a halo around the cherub. I don't know if you can see very clearly, but I will do a close-up at the end. And I've got some lovely pieces of like a yellow aura, neon aura. Now they capture the light beautiful. You can actually see that glow there. Stunning. I love the aura crystals because they're very high vibrating crystals, and they're heated at high temperatures with precious metals. It changes the vibration of them. It's usually quartz crystals they use. I've got a Lemurian seed wand here. It's a very special one. A friend gifted me this one, and I actually called it Sharky because it looks like a shark. It's got like a fin there, and then it's got the face. So that will go on there, I think. I've got another fluorite block there. I do like to try and make the grid symmetrical. It doesn't always work. Now amber, that's tree resin. That's really good for the immune system. So when we go through a bit of trauma, our immune systems are down. So I'm going to put some amber on there, around the edge. And this is another good one. It's orange calcite, and that's good for emotional healing. And the solar plexus too. Got Azes-2 light, Lemurian gold. That's a very high vibrating crystal. Put that side. And I found this out in nature actually in Devon. It's a lovely crystal. It's got like red and gold. That can go on there. And that's another Azes-2 light, a Lemurian, no, not a Lemurian, Himalayan gold. Very high vibrating. And citron's always a lovely happy stone. A stone of abundance and happiness, so I'll put citron on there. And we've got pyrite. I used that when I took the rights to my money key, showman it right, and it's actually really quite a powerful, because of the shape. It's a very powerful crystal. piece of pyrite as well. Pyrite's a stone of the sun, and that's a lovely citron point, very beautiful. I can go on. Now I'm going to put some sunstone on just a minute. It's the stone of the sun. So those can go around the border of the grid. Got another piece of citron, that'll go nice. Another sunstone, and I have actually got tiger's eye here. That's very good for emotionals and your making you feel more confident. So I think that should go on. And the colour schemes go quite nice as well. So I think that's about it. See if it's symmetrical. One more crystal on the other side. That's it. I'm not sure of this one. I can't remember the name of it. But it's a lovely tetrahedron crystal, and it's got the right colour as well. Working on the solar plexus and also sacral as well, because that's where all our emotions are. It's a very emotional healing grid. So I hope you enjoyed me making the grid, and I'll see you soon. Okay, that's a close-up. I always end up adding extras that I didn't think of after I've made the grid. So I've just added a couple of yellow feathers at the base of the cherub's foot. And also, I remembered I got my flowers. I forgot to bring them through, so I've just cut them and placed them around the grid. These are actually carnations, but they're absolutely perfect for this grid because they've got the yellow for the solar plexus and the orange for the sacral. So I'm going to activate this grid to help us with healing past lives. I can feel the calmness already flowing from the grid. It's very calming to the emotions. So this will be lovely to look at for relaxing my emotions, and also for everyone else. So that's today's grid, and I'll do a quick ritual to go with this grid. And it was looking a little bit bare, so I added a couple of crystals. So I've got, this one's red tiger's eye, and that's actually cat's eye. It's like a orange colour, so that's perfect. And red jasper, that's good for grounding and foundations. And carnelian, very good for the sacral. Actually, oops, it is a lovely piece. It reminds me of a tiger because it's got the black strips there at the side. So that's today's grid. This is a grid to help us look at things that need to be dealt with in our psyche. So we've got lots of selenite on this grid. All these pieces are selenite. We've got pink aura, I've got some lovely shells as well. Platinum aura, some more pink aura, some small pieces. Got a sun catcher there. Although the sun's not very low, so I haven't caught many light codes just yet. I've got clear quartz. And the clear quartz is linking up the grid to power it up. That's a magnet, and it's also got two magnetic balls, hematite balls on the end. I've got my quartz crystal star in the middle, and the Indira crystal glass on the corners. And there's a couple of pretty flowers from the garden. So that's a grid to aid us today with parts of our psyche that we need to visit and release. Okay, actually I'm going to do soul retrieval, this card here, and that's taken from Alana Fairchild, the Isis Oracle. I was going to do the past life, present power, but I think the soul retrieval is a bit more appropriate for this. I'm just going to leave the camera on the grid and while I do this quick meditation and read from the book. So it says, did you know that pieces of you can be trapped in the past in traumatic experiences and relationships, even those long since gone, because part of your power remains with another? This can happen because of permission subconsciously given for them to hold a piece of your spirit. Then the time comes for such permission to be revoked, and the pieces of self to be reclaimed and restored to the soul. Master healer and goddess of deep soul restoration, the Lady Isis, now guides you to make peace with the past and reclaim the lost pieces of your own soul. The time has come for you to take yourself entirely into your own possession, to call back your soul from trauma in this lifetime and others, to give yourself back to yourself, wholly and completely. In doing so, your life will flourish, infused with greater energy into beautiful new expression. So we're going to do this quick meditation. When you do retrieve these parts of you, you can also, abilities can come forth that were associated with that time. Healing gifts and things like that. So if you'd like to create a sacred space, it'd be good to light a candle. So imagine, before we go in, I'd like to call on Archangel Michael, who unconditionally loves us, and Isis, who unconditionally loves us, to place protective light around everyone that does this meditation and around this space. So any beings that are not of unconditional love may not enter this space. So if you close your eyes, breathe in deeply and out deeply, so as to get yourself into a meditative state. Imagine that you travel within, going deeper and deeper into your heart, until you notice that within your heart there is a vast open space, and within that space is a golden grid of light. Say, I call upon the master healers that love me unconditionally, including Isis that loves me unconditionally, to help me restore my soul now, to call my power back and experience greater wholeness. So be it. Become aware of a magnificent golden winged goddess, shining love and peace upon you within your own heart now. Allow her to guide you deep into the golden grid of light. You notice that the grid is vibrant, alive and filled with love. Occasionally you notice that a line of the grid is torn or broken or distorted out of alignment with the rest of the grid. Some lines of the grid seem to be pulled out completely, leaking golden energy. Rather than feeding it back and circulating the light through the grid system, Golden Winged Isis is with you now, and she sings with a beautiful voice of sound and light, sending tones of healing into the grid, causing the tears to heal, the pieces missing to be restored, and the threads out of alignment to come back into perfect harmony, reattaching the grid of golden light until it is perfect, alive, throbbing with life force and love. It feels whole, strong and right for the grid to be this way. Stay in your heart with thanks for this healing, feeling peace and love within you as you say, I now forgive any and all unfinished business which would prevent me from being a perfect soul, which would prevent me from being in perfect soul alignment and experience great joy, love and power within. Through my own free will, with the healing grace of Lady Isis, so be it. So when you're ready, open your eyes. So we're now going to do an incantation. So the incantation to the goddess of deep soul healing. So you can say this incantation any time you feel the need for healing, or you need help with forgiving, or when you want to call your soul back to yourself. You can do it at the beginning of the ritual or at the end of the ritual. So I'm now going to say it. Isis with love, unconditional and strong, help me rise above right and wrong, to forgive, release and make myself whole, to retrieve lost pieces of my soul, restore the inner light, grid of gold, free me from trauma, new and old. Isis with love, unconditional and strong, help me be whole now and finally move on. So that's a lovely incantation. It's got a lot of power, and it does help to be able to say these incantations into the crystalline grid. So I hope you enjoyed the short meditation, and I hope it helps you, and I'll see you all soon.
Thank you.